Am I the a-hole for rejecting my brother and telling him he doesn't get what he wants because he's the youngest? I, 21, have spent a long time trying to put my past behind me. But it feels like it keeps showing up at my door, sometimes with a smile, sometimes with demands, and every time it knocks, it brings a fresh wave of guilt and pain. I'm not writing this for pity. I honestly want to know if I'm the asshole for finally shutting that door and locking it. Some background to start. My family growing up was a mess, to put it lightly. My mother, and I only use that word because she gave birth to me, had my half-sister when she was 18. She wasn't ready to be a parent, emotionally, mentally, or practically. So my grandparents stepped in and raised my half-sister as their own. She didn't call our mother Mom. She called her by her first name. But even though my mother wasn't fit to raise her, it was like everyone made peace with the dysfunction, as long as it didn't rock their version of the family. Then my mother met our father, mine, and my full brother's. He was abusive, controlling, violent. He left when I was 5, after a particularly terrifying night that still plays in my head sometimes like a horror film. My brother, now 19, was just a toddler, too young to remember the chaos. I wasn't. I remembered every slammed door, every scream, every bruise. After our father left, my mother unraveled. Her drinking got worse. Her bitterness hardened into hate, and I became the target. I don't know if I reminded her too much of him, or if she just needed someone to blame, but whatever the reason, she hated me. She never hid it. What hurt more was that my grandparents, who had once stepped up for my half-sister, did nothing. Worse than nothing. They treated me like I deserved it. Meanwhile, my younger brother could do no wrong in their eyes. And I mean that literally. If he broke something, it was my fault for egging him on. If he misbehaved, I was the bad influence, even when I wasn't there. When he threw a tantrum, it was because I had upset him somehow. The narrative was already written before I opened my mouth. They had their villain, and I played the role perfectly in their heads. My half-sister wasn't any better. She despised me. She made it clear I wasn't her brother, wasn't her family. She used to say things like, "I wish your dad had finished the job." I was maybe 9 the first time I heard that. She never said that to my brother. He was her little brother, the one she babysat, cuddled, defended. Me? I was just the reminder of everything she hated about our mother and her past. My brother was different with me. At least at first. He used to come to my room when our mother was drunk, scared, wanting comfort. He'd curl up beside me and ask me to tell him stories or read to him. He wanted me to protect him. And I did. I tried. But as he got older, he realized something dangerous. Nobody believed me. He figured out he could lie and get away with it. He started using that. He'd break stuff and blame me. He'd sneak out, lie to our mother, and say I distracted him. Once, he told her I'd hit him. I hadn't, but I still got beaten for it. And through all of this, I still tried to be there for him. I begged him, literally begged, to stop putting everything on me. I told him I was getting hurt, that I couldn't take it anymore. You know what he said? "They already hate you. Why should I make them hate me too?" Another time, he looked me in the eye and said, "That's your problem, not mine." I still remember those words. That was the moment something cracked inside me. I realized I was completely alone. I didn't have a brother. I had someone who used me like a shield and then left me bleeding. Eventually, when I was 16, my mother kicked me out. She had gone away for a few days, left my brother with our grandparents, and told me to keep the house in order. I didn't have any money. There was barely any food. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. When she got back, she found the fridge nearly empty and lost it. My brother complained he was hungry, and that was it. She beat the crap out of me and told me to leave. Just like that. I went to my grandparents' house, shaking, covered in bruises, and begged them to let me stay. They turned me away at the door. My half-sister laughed when I showed up at hers. So I spent the next few months couch hopping, sleeping in parks, trying not to fall apart. And then a miracle happened. My aunt and uncle, my mother's sister and her husband, found out what had happened. I don't know how they didn't know sooner, but once they did, they came for me. No questions asked. They picked me up, gave me a bed, enrolled me back in school, and showed me for the first time that family doesn't have to mean pain. They've been my safe place ever since. They helped me get into college. I spend holidays with them. I finally feel like I matter to someone. Fast forward to 3 weeks ago. Just after my 21st birthday, I got a message from my brother. I hadn't heard from him in years. Not even a text on birthdays or holidays. He acted like we'd just spoken last week. "Hey bro, I really want to see you. Let's hang out. I miss you." I stared at that message for a long time. and I felt nothing. So I told him the truth. That I didn't want to see him. That I hadn't missed him. That I wasn't his emotional support punching bag anymore.
He didn't take it well.
He said I was being cold, that older siblings don't reject younger siblings. That I had a responsibility. That he deserved to have a relationship with me. I told him he deserved nothing from me. That his manipulative, spoiled brat attitude wasn't going to work anymore. That I was done. He tried to argue. Said I couldn't blame him forever. That I was still angry and immature. So I told him if he needed a sibling so badly, he could call our half-sister, since she always adored him. And then I blocked him. Now it's become a mess. My grandparents somehow got my aunt and uncle's new numbers and started harassing them, saying I'm still my father's little demon. That I'm selfish and cruel for turning my back on family. They're guilting my aunt and uncle for filling my head with hate. My aunt and uncle told me not to worry, that they've blocked them again, and they won't let them poison my life anymore.
But I still feel bad.
Like I've started something I didn't mean to. Like they're getting punished for my choice to stand up for myself. It's hard not to feel guilty when good people pay the price for your past. But at the same time, I won't go back. I've worked too hard to build something healthy and safe for myself. I won't reopen that door just because someone now wants to pretend it never slammed in my face. So, am I the a-hole for rejecting my brother and telling him that being the youngest doesn't mean he gets whatever he wants?